ActiveCampaign email anatomy, the moving parts of each ActiveCampaign email. So this could be a campaign email or it could be an automation email. We're going to talk about email naming, which is an internal thing, the subject line and pre-header, which is what your contacts see, the content of your emails. Everyone thinks that's the easy bit, but actually there's a lot of stuff you're probably missing in this. Some nitty-gritty from the settings, the pernickety detail in the settings of an email. Lots of people miss those. And then we're going to talk about sender info, because it's really important for getting recognition and deliverability, making sure your emails that you've carefully crafted and put all of that love and time into, making sure they actually get opened and read. Now, why are these things important? Well, when we used to write letters, we put a lot of time and effort because we had to do it manually. We're individually putting it in the envelope, putting the address on. I think what's happened is as we've switched to emails, a lot of us have lost touch with that detail, that level of care and attention. And we've sort of just been like, send, 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 send. We've got a bit flappity with the send. And sometimes that means we miss really easy details that would make your emails much more effective and make them feel to the consumer much more like, hey, Kay sent me a letter. That feels really nice. Let's start from the top. When you create an email in ActiveCampaign, one of the first things you're asked to do is to give that email a name. Now, what I often see is people using, in effect, the subject line of the email to name their email. This is not a great idea. And here's why. Whenever you're looking for an email object in ActiveCampaign, the way you're going to find it or identify it is using its name. The name is an internal thing, so it's totally private. Now, the benefit of it being an internal thing is that you can use the system to name your emails. So a couple of examples off the top of my head. If I send out a member update email to members of my academy, the first part of the name of the email is member update. And then I put some other stuff after that, like the sending date. And I usually put a couple of words that talk about what was in it. Similarly, if I send out an email about one of these topics, the name of the email, which is for internal use, so that's for me and my team, so that we can know what we're sending, check that we're sending to the right people, we can find it in the future and we can find the report on it. That includes the words weekly topic at the beginning of the email name. And we put in the date and a couple of words that say what the topic is. So this week's email would have been called Email Anatomy. Moving on, next part of the email anatomy, this one, most people know about the subject line, but oh my goodness, the pre-header. There's a pre-header setting. Use the pre-headers. Pre-headers are glorious in email settings. Here's why. This is the sender information. That's the first thing someone sees. Then you get the subject line. And then if you have not set a pre-header, what you get after the subject line in the inbox is a snippet of the first line of text of your email showing up. And sometimes that's something like, to view in browser, click here. This is not very alluring. And often that first sentence is something like, hi, so-and-so, which means that all of their first sentences look the same. In my emails, when I send them out, I'm putting an emoji at the front and then a short sentence and then an emoji at the back end, the pre-header. These things make it leap out in the inbox. It means there's like a graphic that tells the person, here's the story I'm about to tell you. It's like a chaser for the subject line. So do not neglect your pre-headers. Then the obvious bit, the content of the email. Some things that I feel are underused in ActiveCampaign, images in emails. Images are a really easy way to break up that wall of text feeling. And you can use GIFs in image blocks. Custom GIFs are absolutely joyous to use in emails. One of the things to really think about when you're doing the content of your emails is readability. When's the last time you actually looked at one of your emails that you send out and looked at it on a mobile screen while you were multitasking and trying to feed the baby, talk to your mum on the phone and various other things? When did you last replicate real life and look with consumer eyes at one of your emails? If you haven't done it in a while, I highly recommend it. It's a really good way to get a view of, oh, actually, I need more space in here because this is just wall of text, or I can't pick out the detail that I want to see. We do a lot of work on website readability. There's not enough work done, in my view, on email readability for consumers. Don't go for crazy fancy layouts, because what happens at the moment with emails is we're all looking at them on a gajillion different devices. If you use really complicated content layouts, somebody somewhere is going to get a scrambled email with a mess. Concentrate on readability, that your email is going to get read, that it conveys what you think it's going to convey. Break it up a bit. You can use Images, GIFs, lines, horizontal line in your brand color, super easy to drag across, really helps with readability. And the other thing is to leverage those personalization tags. Anything you've got in a custom field, you can put that information into an email for that contact. This is what I call the nitty-gritty settings. In the summary screen of your emails, whether they're campaigns or they're automation emails, there's a section that looks like this. And this is your tracking options mostly. So you've got open and read tracking. You should definitely have that turned on. Link tracking, yes, turn it on. And by the way, if the link tracking is grayed out, it's because you don't have any links in your email. I see that one catch people out a lot. Reply tracking, typically turn that off. It results in all sorts of spam flagging. You don't want that on unless you actually really need ActiveCampaign to know if there was a reply to this email. Google Analytics, keep that one turned on. Even if you think you don't need it, just keep it turned on. Trust me, it doesn't do any harm. And that last one says campaign archive. That one's really important. The default is it's set to public, which means there's a public archive of each email you have sent from ActiveCampaign. And that means that anyone who's smart enough and paying attention can go find your public archive and see the content of all of your emails. So for some businesses, that is a problem with some of their emails because they're not meant to be publicly available. So pay attention to that one, campaign archive. So for example, my emails that I send to my members of my ActiveCampaign Academy, I set them to private because they're for my members only. I don't want them to be on a public archive. And then you've got scheduling options, scheduled campaigns, gold dust, really easy. And then we are on to the sender and reply to information. Tell me, guys, which of these do you think you would open? I think I'm going to go for this one because this one looks like a really well-crafted personal letter, whereas this one looks like trashy spam, right? So it is really important that on our emails, we include the sender information. And one of the top tips I'm going to give you, when you write your sender information, make sure it says the name of the person who's sending it and the business name. This is something I am still seeing really big companies get wrong. They are missing the name of the business in the sender name information. The reason it's daft is because when this email lands in the customer's inbox, if it doesn't say Kay Peacey -slick business, as the from name, your recipient may not recognize the name Kay Peacey. You might not know that this is legitimately from Slick Business. You might not notice the address. What you'll notice is that the sender name appears first. You see the sender name, then you see the subject line, then you see the pre-header, boom. And then you're into the content of the email, which is where you've actually clicked through and you're opening it. So think about the experience of interacting with this and how it looks in your inbox. The settings for that from and reply to stuff is all in the same place as those subject lines and pre-headers. Sorry, I realized I was hiding behind my graphic. There is so much more I could talk to you about. So if you would like to know more about any of these things, come on in to the ActiveCampaign Academy, which is where I hang out with my members and we talk in detail about all of these things, answer any questions that you have. And we have courses already there on everything you could possibly want to know about the email builder, the settings of emails, which type of email you should use in a particular circumstance, how to name your emails sensibly and smartly within your business. So guys, come on in and join me when you want more, because there is so much more to give.